find two numbers such that their sum is 9 times their difference and twice the smaller number exceeds the larger number by 21. So these are two main statements. So you realize that in the first question it says that find two numbers. So the moment you say find two numbers, should tell you that definitely we are going to deal with simultaneous equation. And it says that such that their sum is 9 times their difference and twice their the smaller number exceeds the larger number by 21. So it means you have to look at smaller number and larger number at the first stage. That's what we are doing. So let's use a variable to represent them. So let smaller number equals x, let the larger number equals y. So it means that x is going to represent the bigger number, the smaller number, and y is going to represent the larger number. Now let's move on. It said find two numbers. So these are the two numbers you're going to find, x and y, such that their sum. So what are the two numbers, x and y? And sum in math means what? Addition. Good. So their sum. So sum is equal to what? X plus y. This is the expression for it. And it said their sum is what? 9 times their difference. So let's write the expression for the 9 times the difference. So 9 times their difference. So 9 times their difference. Are you getting it? Good. So first of all, we have to look at the difference. And we know this is the bigger number. So the bigger number has to come first. Why? Because when you are finding for difference, always the bigger number has to come first. For instance, it says find the difference between 5 and 10. 10 is the bigger number, so it becomes 10 minus 5. So because the larger number is y, it becomes y minus x. This is the difference. But it says 9 times their difference. So after I've now seen the expression for the difference, whatever I get here to be 9 times 8. So I'll put it in brackets and put 9 here. That is 9 times their difference. I hope you are following. Just take your time as we break it down one by one to get it easily. So 9 times their difference. That is 9 into bracket y minus x. Good, let's move on. And it says, so you are done with 8. It says that the sum is 9 times. Find two numbers beside that the sum. So the sum is what you have done here, x plus y, which is over here, this way, x plus y. Are you getting it? Good. X plus y and s. Anytime you get the word s in math, it's standing for equal to. So it's what? 9 times their difference. So x plus y equal to 9 into bracket y minus x. Take your time, you get it, okay? We have now put the expression. So this will be equation 1. Good, let's move on. I've already told you that anytime you're dealing with this expression, you have x, y, you have to know that we deal with simultaneous equation. Let's move on. You see that, and twice the smaller number. So let's see. Twice the smaller number. Let's write an expression for it. Twice the smaller number. Now, what is the smaller number over here? The smaller number over here is x. So twice it will be what? 2x exactly. So you have written the expression. And twice the smaller number exceeds the larger number by 21. This is where the confusion comes inside. It says that this number, it exceeds the larger number by 21. Meaning that this one, the difference between this and the larger number is what? 21. Meaning that when 21 is added to the larger number, automatically should be the same as this. I repeat. It says that the smaller number exceeds the larger number by 21. Meaning that the smaller number now we are going to get here, the difference between it and the larger number over here for the first question will be 21. So automatically that 21, when we add it to the larger number, it will be equal to this. It exceeds the larger number by 21. So exceeds the larger number by 21. So what's the larger number over there? Y. I getting it? So if I want equation for that one, because y it exceeds by 21, if I add the 21 to it, it will be equal to this. And that will bring us to our next equation. That is 2x is equal to y plus 21, and that will become our equation 2. Exactly. So we are now having our equation 1 and equation 2 here. So now let's see how we can then solve it, since we have now identified our two equations. So let's write our first equation down, which is what? X plus y is equal to 9 to bracket y minus x. So we'll simplify. X plus y is equal to 9y minus 9x. I want to make x the subject first. So x, this one will come here, plus 9x is equal to 9y. This one will move here, minus y. So 10x is equal to what? 8y. Then we divide both sides by 10 to get our x. So x will give us what? This will 2 go here 4 times, 2 go here 5 times. So 4 over 5 y. There was y here, and it becomes our equation 3. So you are going to substitute our equation 3 into equation 2. You're going to put it inside here, meaning that everywhere we see x, you're going to put in 4 over 5y. That's what you're going to do. So that is where we're going to deal with now. So we now move. So 2, now this is x. I get it. Let me write the equation down first so that you get the understanding well. That's equation 2. You're substituting it inside. So now that I have my x equal to 4 over 5y, wherever I see x, I put in 4 over 5. So 2 into bracket 4 over 5y. Bracket close, equals to y plus 21. So 2 times 4 will give us 8 over 5y equals to y plus 21. This can be grouped in 1. Then we can do cross multiplication, because you know that normally if you have this is the same as over 1. So you can do cross multiplication. So 8y will multiply with the 1, which you get the 8y. Then this 5 we can multiply with the up here, which becomes 5 into bracket y plus 21. So 8y equals to 5y plus 105, because 5 times 21 will give you 105. So you group like terms. 8y minus 5y is equal to 105. So 3y is equal to 105. So we divide both sides by 3. So here 3 will go into 105. That is 35 times here, 35, because 3 will go to 10 3 times. Remember 1, 15, 3, 5, 15. So our y is equal to 35, and that becomes our equation 4. So we now have the value for y. Y is equal to 4. So you're now going to substitute the equation 4 back into equation 1 to help us get our x. We now have y. So we are going to substitute this one back again into equation 1 over here, wherever we see y. So let's deal with that one so you get understanding easily. So let me write equation 1. X plus y is equal to 9 into bracket y minus x. And that is the equation 1. So you are going to substitute this into equation 1. Wherever we see y, we put in 35. So x plus 35 equal to 9 into bracket 35 minus x. So x plus 35, then break this one down. 95, let's do it here so we check. 95, let me do it here so that 35 times 9, sorry, 5, 9, 45, right? Remember 4, 3, 9, 27, plus this one will give us what? 31. So we're having 315. So 315, then 9 times minus will give us minus 9x. So we group like terms. You're having x, then this one cross becomes plus 9x is equal to 315. This one cross becomes minus 35. So now we have here 10x is equal to 15, 15, 12 with 20. You're going to take 20 away from the 300, so you're going to get 200 and what? 70, right? Sorry, 280. 280. So you're going to get 280. So 10x is equal to 280. Then we divide both sides by 10. So x is equal to, this will cancel this. So we go to 28. So therefore, our x is equal to 28. And our y is equal to what? 35. These are the two numbers that we were looking for, exactly as we want.